The James H. Cole Home for Funerals is celebrating its centennial this year, making it Detroit's oldest Black-owned funeral home. James H. Cole III founded the business in Detroit's Black Bottom neighborhood in 1919, and today it remains a family-owned business run by the third and fourth generations. I'm pleased to have the family as my guests. Carla Cole is manager of the Cole Funeral Home, and her two sons, Antonio and Bryce Green, are both directors. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for starters, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
100 years. That is really remarkable. Let's go back to 1919. James Cole decides to start a funeral home. Talk about what inspired him to do that and what the service was like then.
I think my grandfather was just a lover of people. He wanted to take care of people. He believed in taking care of the dead, first of all. He was a firm believer in that. And he started out as a small funeral home, of course, but by his, wanting to take care of the community, take care of the deceased and their families, he built it up, and then my father even continued it on much bigger after my grandfather passed.
Back then, of course, you had to go to an African-American funeral home if you were African-American, right?
True.
Talk about over the years how the business has changed as sort of the culture has changed and society has changed.
Right. Now we service all faiths,
Everybody.
all faiths, religions,
Right.
races, we just take care of all people.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious, Antonio and Bryce, about the sort of weight of history on your decisions to be in the family business. Can you talk about when you thought this was what you wanted to do as well?
I think coming through college, once I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I had always said, coming even through high school, that I would be a part of the business, but maybe just not full time. But after coming through college and having to come into age, then you just kind of realize, how the importance is of keeping the family business going, and how part-time isn't going to cut it. You really have to have a full-time dedication. And supporting the community has allowed us to continue.
Yeah, really the same way with me. Mine really started when I was, a little bit younger, kind of 8th grade, high school age. I was always like, I'm going to the funeral home. I'm going to work at the funeral home. I'll be at the funeral home. That's what I'm going to do. And I kind of had my mind set on that. And, even with going to college, when I went to Eastern Michigan, I was pre-mortuary science at Eastern Michigan. Followed in my grandfather's footsteps and went to Wayne State for mortuary school. And I was just, gung-ho the whole time. No, I will be at the funeral home. We can't let it go. We're not going to let it out of the family, and we got to keep it going. Yeah.
So. One of my favorite television series of all time is 6 Feet Under, which was on HBO. I think all the time about those characters now that the show's gone, but it strikes me that there's a real similarity here with you guys being a family-owned funeral home. There's a lot of tension on that show between the two brothers who are inheriting the show. Is that something that you guys experience? Who's got their hands on the wheel?
No, I mean, with the family being so small, it's just the three of us that run the business. Yeah. It's more than enough to do. So I think where you may run into
everybody to chip in.
Exactly.
Right?
Everybody has their more responsibilities, so there's more than enough work to pass around. So there's not really any butting of heads because we're always too busy doing work.
Just working. Yeah.
Exactly. With it being two different chapels too, that's a whole other dynamic of it. It's so much work, and then we're also spread out between our West Grand Boulevard chapel and our chapel on Puritan and Schaefer. That it's just so much to do. If we're not together, it's never going to get done.
Talk about the importance to you of this sort of extension of the family ownership of the business.
Oh, having my boys working with me. I couldn't do it without them. And especially in this day and time of technology. I'm an old woman now, and when my sons came into the business, they brought all their techie knowledge with them, which I had no clue of. So they have really expanded our business. Really, I don't think we'd be where we're at without these young minds.
Can you talk about how technology is changing the business? I'm not sure most people are aware of that.
Yeah, well, the funeral industry is very, very, very traditional. So most funeral homes up to 10 years ago didn't even have a website.
Okay.
So that was one thing even before I came into the business was getting the funeral home a website set up. We built our new Northwest Chapel on Schaefer and Puritan about 8-9 years ago now. And that has integrated television and monitors throughout the computer system throughout the entire building. So it was important to us to make this multi-million-dollar investment for the Detroit community, and we were providing bereaved families with something that they can't get really anywhere in the country. We were one of the very few funeral homes to incorporate technology like that in the business.
Yeah. And what does that enable you to do in terms of serving the families better? What are the
Well, I think
advantages?
it really allows them to personalize. A big thing with funeral industry now is personalization.
Okay.
So now when they walk into the room, it's not just reviewing your loved one. Now you have the DVD playing on a screen right there. Now you have an animation with the name going. It's just a whole nother realm.
Yeah.
And with that technology too, it also lets you bring in all those people that are not here anymore. You know, nobody is in one spot locked down for life anymore. Everybody starts moving away and they go here, they go there. But with that technology, we have live stream capabilities. So you can
So
actually—
I could watch.
Right. If you're on vacation, if you have a business meeting that you cannot,
Wow.
you know, get out of, if it's just the fact that, hey, I live in Atlanta now and not Detroit.
Yeah.
You can log
can
on and
still be
live
part
stream,
of
and you can be a part of your family's funeral service still live right then in the moment.
Yeah.
And you can still be there.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I wonder. I asked your boys this. At what point in your life did you know this was what you were going to do? Was this something that your dad insisted on, or?
Well, my dad had no sons, just 2 girls,
Right.
and my sister wasn't going into business, so it's kind of up to me, and I was a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
So whatever he did, wherever he went, I was right behind him.
Yeah.
So I just chose to go. Now, one thing I have to say, but I wasn't a school person. I didn't think I was going to go to college.
Okay.
And then after, following my dad around, I said, well, I think I will. And I went on to mortuary school. The only time I left school was when I was in college, really. But that was it. Just I knew I was going to be, whatever he did, I was going to do.
Yeah. Can you talk about the landscape of funeral homes in the city today versus maybe when you started? Is it changing? Are there sort of new players that
Yeah,
that
you
you
have a
didn't
lot
to
of
deal
new
with?
funeral homes that
Yeah.
are opening up. A lot of competition out there. But we've been around a long time,
Yeah.
so we don't, we still take care of our families. We stay on our toes, so
Yeah.
we don't think that's any problem for us.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious for you two what you see for the future of the business, the kinds of things that may challenge you that your mom wouldn't have had to face.
Just like we talked about before, technology, just
sure.
the evolution of society itself. And like I said, the funeral industry is very, very, very slow to adapt. So it's just something that we
Super
can't fall into.
traditional, yeah.
Right, you have to stay on top of that. But I think if we just maintain our roots, if
Yeah.
just helping the community, making sure we satisfy the people we serve, that's what's carried us 100 years, and that's what'll keep carrying us 100 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really it. I mean, you've got our funeral home, we can do everything from pre-planning a funeral all the way to the final steps of the headstone, which you have to come see me for, but me specifically, but we deal with that too. But I mean, it gets to the point where you can pre-plan, you can plan an at-need service.
Yeah.
You can get your vault from the funeral home. If you need a military flag, we take care of that. We take care of everything for you.
Yeah.
All the way to the headstone, where you don't have to worry about anything. You can come to the funeral home and ask us for it. And then in the future, I mean, even the market of the headstone is changing. There's no more little color photos inside of a little glass case that you put on the
Right,
headstone. Everything
right.
is laser engraved
Oh, it
directly
is.
into the headstone.
Oh,
I mean,
it is.
even that is to the point where in the future,
Yeah.
it's going to be so much driven by technology and personalization
Yeah.
that's what we've got to stay on top of.
Yeah. I wonder if you notice changes in the way families grieve or sort of process death as a result of changes in technology or changes in the culture. Is that?
Yeah. There is. I mean, it's gotten to a point now where it's so much more of a celebration of life. The grief behind it is kind of kind of fading slightly to where everybody's now celebrating the life of their loved one, you know, and as well as our funeral home, we also have gotten into offering aftercare counseling. You know, in our community is not one to go seek out aftercare counseling or any kind of help help with grieving.
Or admitting that you need help.
Or even admitting that you need help. That's not, it's just not a part of our culture. But we see that that is a need and that we can help you continue to move. So as well as the celebration of life, now our culture is also being able to be helped at our funeral home by saying, look, come to the funeral home. We have grief counseling. We have sessions that'll help you through that.
Okay. Well, again, congratulations on 100 years. That's really remarkable. Are you doing anything special at the funeral home to mark the centennial?
We have a community day. We can't say when, but we're planning that. And then in the fall, in September, we're having a big banquet at the Rooster Tail.
Yeah.
So if people
Another great Detroit institution, right?
yeah, right. So if people are interested, they can go to our website
Yeah.
and see more about the festivities that we plan.
Okay. Again, congratulations and thanks very much
you.
for being here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.